Jawaballs!
Hey friends, I thought I would share my Eldar with you today. So this video is about just looking at my Eldar. I painted this army 2 years ago during the summertime. And I played them several times in tournaments, very briefly. I didn't play a whole lot. Didn't do very well in the tables. You know, they're a tricky army to play, and I honestly didn't really have a good concept of the game in general. But, you know, they were really pretty. They won best painted every time I played them. Which is a plus, I guess, right? So, I'm going to start by showing you the, let me get this thing open here. Let's see. A lot to show them. Trying to dig down to the infantry here. Start with the HQ. Here we go. All right. So, God, it's so much. Okay, here we go. All right. There we go. Here's the Farseer on foot. Spin them around for you. Painting this army was where I really kind of learned, you know, and put in place my airbrush techniques. I kind of fine-tuned and figured out how to use it. Really love this model. Back to your case you go. Okay, so then I have these guys. They were resin, and they just break. The damn little back antenna on them just break. I never really finished painting them because I never used them. You know, maybe I did. I don't remember, honestly. I don't even remember what they're called. I think I have 2 squads of 3 of them. This one probably looks like he's close to finish. I must have a finished one. No, I don't know. Let me zoom in. Kind of like the bone look on him. These missile launcher dudes. Yeah, I did use them, actually. I remember. They were pretty nasty on the table. I used resin bases from Secret Weapon. Not much really to show here because they're just not terribly interested. They're not finished. Put them back in the box. The army, I would say, is like 95% finished. I should dig out one of my display boards and put them on the display board so they look nicer. What do you think, huh? Okay. I don't know where his banner went. No, where's the banner? Gonna have to find that. Here is my Dire Avenger. Oh, Sergeant, I think they're called. I don't remember what they're called. Autark? No. I'm so far out of 40k. This is the leader of the Dire Avengers. And here's his buddies. Just a 5-man unit. That's all. This is just my little squad. Their whole point was just to kind of sit on objectives and hang out. They look pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with them. I could probably stand with getting some more wash, some blue wash, and kind of pushing the recesses, pushing the contrast here. Gotta find his banner. I had a back banner for him somewhere. I don't know where it went. Okay. Back you guys go. I hope it's somewhere. Hope I didn't lose it. Once I find it, I'll put it on there for you and show it to you. Let's see. Oh, look. Here's. This is my warlock, I think they're called. I don't want my fingers to mess with the focus. It's kind of hard to tell if it's in focus. I really love painting these models. Little warlock. Guardians. Here's a guardian. Real simple. Bases aren't done. Actually, this army needs a lot of work, actually. Let's pull out some more of these guys. They're almost exactly the same, so I'm not going to get too crazy. Man, they're all broken. I have to take better care of my army. Everything's broken. Yep. You know, I'm going to pause this video, and I'm going to get a display board out and set them up on display, and then I'll come back, and I'll do a better video. Okay, stand by. Okay, so here we are. I put them out on a display board, my Eldar. So let me kind of walk you through here. It's going to be a little shaky cam action, but that's what I got for you, so sorry. Let's start with what's in front, huh? Let me pull my table around, or my chair, I mean. Pardon the shaky cam. Let me plug in my power cord too. There. Okay. So, what should I talk about first? Well, let me do a little drive-by. The wave serpent. Oh. Farseer on a jet bike. A couple of warlocks on jet bikes. I found the banner for the Dire Avenger. Well, yeah, look at that guy. Don't remember what he's called, like a spirit seer. He's a spirit seer. He was a lot of fun to play because that gun doesn't require line of sight, and he's nasty in close combat too. So I would kind of hide him behind stuff and just cause pain with that gun of his. And if people tried to get close to him, they came into range of all my nasty stuff. They didn't like that very much. Here's my Wraith Lord. Get back to him in a second. The Rangers aren't really finished. Wraith guard. There's those missile launcher dudes. Wait, what's that? Ooh, you've all seen this happen in movies, right? Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. The Wraith Knight. He's got that gun. I'll pull him out in a second. There it is. Vipers. One. Magnet broken one. I love this thing. It's so fun to play. Let me stand up here. Get top down. You can really see me learning with the airbrush. Shining spears. I started to add this squad after a tournament because I just needed a little bit more speedy punch, but then I never played again. So anyway, shining spears on jet bikes. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put down the camera on a tripod again so that I can show you, pick up the models and show you some really close some images. Okay, let me come back. Okay, so I'm going to use this little corner here as my display. So I'll start with who's here, which is my Guardians. And they were actually really fun to paint. Super tiny. And I hardly touched them with a brush at all. It's almost all airbrush. I'm going to zoom in as close as I can get. They're all very similar. I had envisioned building a display board to match their bases. Because I went out and I bought a bunch of pieces of foam so I could build tiers and layers and stuff. But again, kind of fell out of playing 40K again, and I just never got around to it. At some point I will absolutely finish. Here's the gun. They're very shiny. They're all hiding. These guys, I would put them in that wave serpent and just fly them around. They didn't do a whole lot, but you got to have guardians, right? Pull them off. And I can bring the wave serpent up. I would usually put them with like this guy, this warlock. I kind of like this model. He's a metal one too. I'm actually pretty pleased with his weapon. Yeah, that looks good, huh? Off you go, sir. Let me bring back, one more straggler. Here's the Farseer. Oh. Pretty nice, right? Farseer off to the side. Let's bring up the wave serpent now. All these, this whole army is magnetized completely. The guns. Even this little thing is magnetized. The base he's on is magnetized. I used to try to hand paint all my details, but then I got good at using stickers, the decals. So I use them. I love the red on this one. It came out nice. All right. It wants to zoom in on everything in the back. All right. So this again is a Spirit Seer with a D cannon, I think that's called. A lot of fun to paint these things. This is where I really learned how to push the light and dark. Spirit Seer. Once I pull back and see that stuff in the background, I want to zoom in on it. I really enjoyed painting this model. Wraith Lord. I mean, you can't have Eldar without having these things. So this army is actually a very fluffy army. Why is this thing so loose? And but they're just so cool. I love them. This was a repaint. He was blue and yellow. He was Ayendan, and I totally just redid it all. And I'm really happy with how the swords on all these guys came out. If you look at them from underneath, you can see they're almost black totally. I painted from the top down to give that very rich, deep look. Dire Avengers. I always loved the Dire Avengers. I found his back banner. See it? Zoom in. Focus. Good. There we go. Looks nice, right? They're all pretty standard. They need more contrast in the blue. I need to work on that. Off to the side they go. Okay, who's next? I'm not going to show much of the Rangers because they're just not done. But one or two of them is pretty close to finish. Let's see this guy. I'm really happy with their guns. I went with a different brand of paint completely for them to get as different a red as I could for their colors. I wanted to be more muted and darker for their cloaks. Anybody else done? Let's see here. Really happy with their red. They just need some love. Alright, let's go on to the Wraith Guard. Another unit I love. No, I would put these guys in that Wave Serpent, and people feared it. They fear the Wraith Guard. Because if the Wraith Guard gets a chance to shoot those guns, things just disappear. These guys, I managed to get every single gemstone. They're finished. I'm gonna move the focus of the camera to get better light, because I'm actually on the edge of the I'm on the edge of the light setup here, so they're getting backlit. So let's start with this guy, huh? Warlock on a jet bike. His spear broke. Which is fine. They kept getting snagged on stuff anyway, so. The short spear. That was pretty good like that, huh? Here's a Farseer. Let's see if I can get him to zoom. I remember the exact kit I used to make him. He's a combination of some Warhammer fantasy. I messed up his head or something. I don't know what I did there. It was metal model, I think, and it chipped, and I had to paint over it. Yeah, so he was a mishmash of mounted elven dudes that I had to cut and fit. There's a Dire Avenger's arm there to make him fit on a bike. And the bike I had to modify as well. One of a kind right here. Ain't many like those. Let's see here. I'm not going to get too crazy with the bike dudes. Here's my other warlock on a bike. His spear is still intact. It's a little bent. Oops, something just fell. I don't think the camera is really doing the red justice. I don't know. Let's bring a biker into play here. I know what you guys all want to see. You want to see that Wraith Knight, right? Let me get him over here for you. Whoa, he's so big. Wraith Knight. Okay, so I just had to have him in my army. He's really awful. He's just a gun magnet. He gets shot up and killed. But I just love the model. I went a little crazy with all the gemstones. I painted every single one. Not every. I missed one or two. So hard to paint them all. He's completely and totally magnetized too. Wraith Lord. Here. I magnetized the arms so they can come on and off to make it easy. Here's his shimmer shield or whatever that thing's called. Wraith shield. These guns come off. His whole torso comes right off, really. Pretty fat, right? It looks sharp. The gun, that thing comes off too. Whoop. Pretty sweet, huh? Move him aside. I'll show a Viper. So little compared to that thing. This is one summer. Good 8 hours a day for a good month and a half or so of painting. Actually, none. You know what? That's not even true. The airbrush did most of it. So really, the bulk of the painting was done real quick with the airbrush. If you don't have an airbrush, get one. It's just, they're wonderful. Oh, okay, let's bring that fighter in here. This thing was just so much fun to play. There's a lot of sheen because these have a a luster, a satin finish to them, and so they reflect the light. It's kind of hard to get a good angle with the camera. This thing had this bubble, you know, when it flew around, it like increased the power of the psychers, and it made their spells harder to resist. It was a lot of fun because I would just fly that thing around and then go and cast spells on people with the psychers. It didn't do a whole lot more than that, but that was enough. People hated it. I don't even know what it's called. So that's the Jawaballs Eldar army in honor of my buddy Fritz. Bring this over here real quick. Shining spear. These are like, again, a mishmash of models. Dire Avengers, some Dragon Riders from fantasy, old bikes. They need a lot of work. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with this army. I don't know. I'm going to finish it at some point. And they're my second army after I get my Blood Angels done. So, I hope you enjoyed this little look at my Eldar. It's really a beautiful army to, you know, I love the models. They're really great. Even though they're so old, they still look awesome. And it was a lot of fun to paint this army and play it. They're very difficult to play. Very tactical. You gotta know what you're doing. And I did not know what I was doing. So I got... Well, you know what? I did win a few games, which was more than I expected to do. But, you know, this was a art project for me, not really an army project. I painted this army for the love of the painting. And the love of the red. For the love of the red. So, if you enjoyed this, let me know. Post a comment and tell me how you feel about this army. And tell me what you want to see next. You want to, you know, I got to play some games, so but I'll get some battle reports going on. If you want me to do more videos of this army, even closer looks, maybe in different lighting or different atmosphere, let me know. Of course, liking and subscribing definitely helps with the algorithm for YouTube, so make sure you hit those if you're new. I hope you enjoyed. I'm back. Jawaballs is back, and it feels good to be creating again. And I'm hoping to get a whole lot more coming soon. So sound off. Let me know how you feel. All right, I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you. Have a great day.